Initially, this was just a persistent, unsettling thought that I couldn't shake off, and as time went by, it developed into a harmful idea that affects my entire mental state. I am a woman aged 42. Both my husband Charlie and Kate are 43. I crossed paths with Charlie at college, but he and Kate have known each other since they were about 7. They shared everything and had an innate understanding of each other, forming a close friendship. They have always maintained that their relationship is like that of surrogate siblings. As Charlie's new girlfriend, I naturally felt a bit uneasy about his closeness with Kate, but they both assured me that I had nothing to worry about. They emphasized that their connection was not romantic and had never been intimate. Kate was truly the sister Charlie never had. I trusted them, and soon any uncertainties I had about Kate vanished. She became my friend too, and played a significant role by officiating our wedding ceremony. Charlie and I have created a wonderful life together, maintaining a strong bond. After marrying and moving in together, we continued to frequently see Kate, which I accepted. I spent many evenings helping Kate in her quest to find a partner, since she often expressed how unlucky she was in love. Once married, Charlie and I started our family, and around the same time, Kate did as well. To add more context, our children are Melissa, 15, George, 12, Helen, 10, and Peter, 6. Kate's children are Tom, 17, Jane, 14, and twins Donald and Jessica, 9. At this stage, Kate wasn't in a relationship or married. To my knowledge, she was casually dating. Each time Charlie and I expanded our family, Kate also found herself expecting. This happened a few times, yet we never learned about the fathers. I suspected that perhaps Kate engaged in casual encounters and didn't pursue further contact. Charlie thought this was likely too. I asked Kate if she knew the paternity each time, but she always said no and did not appear concerned about raising the children solo, so I refrained from pressing the matter. We were, of course, there to support her. Though Kate never sought assistance, Charlie was committed to ensuring his best friend didn't face hardships while raising her children. Financially, we were in a good position. I had a well-paying job, and Charlie's affluent parents, who were already fond of Kate, were willing to support her. My in-laws are wonderfully kind-hearted, breaking all stereotypes. We were thus able to help Kate secure a place for her family. While some may want to label her as a drain on resources, I never viewed her that way, nor did any of us. She was in need of support, and we were in a position to offer it. Admittedly, there will be those who judge her for her perceived irresponsibility and question her choice not to use dependable birth control methods. To be honest, it's a complex matter that I'm not eager to delve into, primarily because I don't entirely grasp her rationale myself. However, it was undeniably crucial to her that she avoid birth control, and she was ready to face the consequences of that decision. I can say with certainty that it wasn't driven by religious beliefs, but it held an equivalent level of importance for her. Kate had a strong aversion to using birth control. Though she's explained her reasons to me multiple times, they remain unclear. Considering Kate was Charlie's closest friend since childhood, it's understandable that they spent time together, even when I wasn't around. That doesn't trouble me. I also spend solo time with Kate, though Charlie has more frequent hangouts with her, given their long-standing friendship. Sometimes, this included visiting her residence and occasionally staying overnight. Was it naive of me to trust him wholeheartedly and assume nothing untoward was occurring? Possibly. But throughout the years, they portrayed themselves as mere friends, like siblings, in fact. I never sensed any romantic tension between them. Naturally, our families became intertwined in this context. Although we didn't share living space, our house is spacious but not enough for 8 children. We always ensured that Kate's kids and ours were acquainted early on, fostering deep friendships that have persisted, which is fortunate. Especially if my assumption is accurate and they are related by blood. I've been postponing what I need to say. Yes, I suspect that Charlie may be the father of at least one, if not all, of Kate's children. To be candid, I'm inclined to believe they are all his. Never did I think my husband capable of such an act, and he has never behaved like a man who would be unfaithful. Nevertheless, he does spend ample time with Kate, and I must admit I've rarely seen her with a serious partner throughout the years. She would interact with men in social settings, and I often played the role of her wingwoman. Yet no substantial relationships seemed to materialize. When she first became pregnant, I was curious. As it happened repeatedly, I began to ponder whether she had a discreet partner she was concealing for some reason. Yet, I saw no conceivable reason for her to hide someone, especially from her children. After our youngest child, Peter, was born, Charlie and I decided it was time for him to undergo a vasectomy. Kate's twins had arrived just a few years prior. Naturally, after the procedure, Charlie and I maintained intimacy without parental concerns. Meanwhile, Kate didn't conceive again after the twins. Is it merely a coincidence that Charlie's vasectomy coincided with both of us ceasing to have children? I'm unsure. But Charlie continued to see her and checked on her children during his visits. I should have scrutinized these interactions sooner, but Charlie always conducted himself as a father figure for them, particularly as they aged. He's filled the paternal void in their lives. He doesn't overlook me or our children, not in the slightest. He's managing two families in essence. While the notion of him being a surrogate father to Kate's children isn't inherently suspicious and might even be perceived as admirable, it aligns with numerous other subtle indicators. Looks are part of the picture too. I won't delve into exact details of features like hair or eye color or other distinct characteristics, as I prefer to keep the identities involved as general as possible. Suffice it to say, Kate's kids definitely resemble Charlie. Jane has a rare allergy that Charlie also shares. The twins remarkably mirror his appearance, particularly Donald. As Tom ages, he starts to reflect more of Charlie's features and characteristics. Although their ethnicity isn't important in reality, Charlie belongs to a different race than Kate, and Kate's kids appear somewhat biracial. It's easy to imagine their dad might be from the same racial background as Charlie. This doesn't necessarily mean Charlie is their father, yet it strongly suggests it. I've never shared my concerns with either Kate or Charlie. I don't want to be viewed as the antagonist, and regardless, I'm certain they would deny my suspicions and be hurt by them. Envision the chaos if this drama reached my children or Kate's. Regardless, Charlie continues to spend time with Kate and her kids, just as her children interact with mine. I've subtly indicated to Charlie that I seek more of his attention and would rather he didn't focus so much on Kate. However, he either didn't catch on or chose to ignore it. I hesitate to push the narrative that he favors her because it isn't truly the case. He's never set me aside for her. Yet, I can't dismiss the gut feeling that Charlie and Kate have been romantically involved in the past, likely more than once. To my knowledge, Kate never particularly aspired to motherhood. She wasn't against it, and she embraced each child warmly upon their arrival, but becoming a mother wasn't a key aspect of her life goals or identity. When we'd discuss future plans, she'd occasionally mention a husband and children, yet it never appeared as something she deeply desired. Hence, I doubt this situation with Charlie was about him simply giving Kate children. That likely wasn't the reason for any possible cheating. It would have been a byproduct. I've ignored and avoided this notion for years. It was just a troubling thought after discovering Jane's allergy, but I shrugged it off. It intensified after the twins were born. Again, I set it aside. Then, when Kate ceased having children, I hoped it would offer reassurance. However, knowing Charlie underwent a vasectomy only heightened my anxiety. There have been moments where I wished the twins were born post-surgery. It's been eating away at me for ages, but I don't want to be the one to fracture our family, especially since, quite possibly, I might be incorrect. However, now I'm quite concerned, as there has been a recent shift within our children's group of friends in the past few months. Tom, Kate's oldest child, invited Melissa, my oldest, out on a date. Over the years, Melissa has truly come into her own, transforming into a confident and beautiful young woman. Therefore, it's no surprise she's starting to draw attention from boys. Tom's invite, however, caught me off guard. Melissa declined, mainly due to my protective nature over her dating experiences, knowing she'd need my permission first. I noticed she felt both complimented and curious about his proposal, and she did want to accept. She came to discuss it with me, bless her heart, doing exactly what she should have. She likely assumed I'd agree with her perspective and allow her to see Tom. But to her dismay, I was very resolute in my refusal. This led to some disagreement between us. She wasn't even that eager to date him. She merely couldn't grasp the reason for my denial. Unfortunately, I struggled to provide a satisfactory explanation, only managing to say, "He's too old for you," which is true, though it wasn't entirely the point. When Kate and Charlie became aware, I was incredibly eager to see how they would respond. Had either aligned with Melissa and attempted to persuade me that they should have the freedom to date, I believe I would have felt a sense of relief, interpreting it as an indication that I was mistaken about the situation between them, incorrect about the father of Kate's children. However, the uncertainty persisted. They sided with me. Both firmly put their foot down, albeit not as firmly as I did. Charlie concurred with my stance, but was also concerned that prohibiting such a relationship might only intensify Melissa's desire for it. He's likely correct in that assumption. Kate appeared indifferent to the notion. She also didn't want Tom dating Melissa and supported my position, yet her attitude seemed less earnest, as if she viewed it merely as a temporary infatuation. It turned out to be more than that. Over the ensuing months, Tom increasingly spent time with Melissa. They found ways to be alone or in the company of other friends as often as possible. It's transparently evident that Tom has strong feelings for Melissa and desires to be with her. And he certainly wishes to pursue a physical relationship. I've been closely monitoring them and have frequently noticed his distracted gaze. Despite my efforts to end this budding romance before it takes root, I feel somewhat helpless. Melissa hasn't openly defied me. She's still just spending time with Tom as friends. Prohibiting their time together would be unreasonable and could likely spur more covert plans. My anxiety stems from the fear that they're already secretly dating, engaging in unknown activities when unwatched. I've seen Tom being quite touchy with Melissa, and she doesn't seem to mind at all. I'm lost for words. I had thought about convincing Melissa that Tom is akin to a brother, but if that's not how she sees him, I lack the ability to change their emotional bond or the history of their relationship. I always viewed Kate and her children as family, yet my kids possibly see Kate's children more as close friends. The issue arises, of course, if my suspicion holds true that my husband has maintained an affair and I'm correct regarding the paternity of Kate's children. In that case, there's no room for Tom and Melissa to be anything beyond friends, no exceptions. It's simply not feasible, but stopping it feels beyond my control. Charlie has apparently discussed this with Tom, as has Kate, but he remains persistent, unwilling to abandon his feelings for Melissa. I think she finds his attentiveness and dedication appealing. Tom has also approached me, questioning why I oppose this when I know him well and recognize he would treat Melissa well. My response has been limited to citing her youth as a barrier. However, that argument will only hold for so long. Should their attraction endure over the years, once they become legal adults, there will be nothing I can do to intervene. Kate and Charlie concur with my view that Tom shouldn't be involved with Melissa. However, that's the extent of their actions. They seem to feel as helpless as I do in stopping the inevitable teen romance. At times, it honestly seems like they have surrendered to the situation and choose to ignore it, hoping these feelings will fade as Tom and Melissa mature. Of course, being in high school, it is improbable that Tom's affection for Melissa will last indefinitely. My concern, though, is that she may allow him to engage in an irrevocable act with her before they reach that point. I am on the verge of crossing a line I can't reverse, dangerously close to confronting Charlie about how this entire situation wouldn't have arisen if he hadn't betrayed me years ago. If he hadn't been secretly nurturing another family along with his surrogate sister. Now, Charlie's son is drawn to our daughter, his biological sister, while he believes she is merely his childhood companion. I hold Charlie and Kate responsible for the consequences of their past actions. If I speak up, it will create chaos. Should I be mistaken, I would be seen as a dreadful person who accused my dearest and a close friend of something terrible. But if I'm right, it will still shatter our entire situation. The family and social bonds we've formed over the years would be destroyed, leaving everyone in distress, even if Charlie and I remain together. If I stay silent, Melissa might end up being with Tom and become his partner. I'm quietly worried that this will occur sooner rather than later, or worse, that it's already happened without my knowledge. I desperately wish for this relationship to dissolve with time, yet what if it persists? What if they stay together for years or even get married and think about having children one day? Revealing the truth about Kate's children to Melissa means everyone else will learn, leading to countless ruined lives. It would destroy my kids' view of their father and Aunt Kate. To George, Charlie is a hero. I can't bear to imagine the pain he would feel. And then there are Kate's children, who are blameless. They had no say in their origins, and I don't intend to hurt them. I'm admittedly upset with Tom lately. Last week, I caught him touching Melissa inappropriately and felt an urge to confront him. Yet even he doesn't deserve the burden of knowing he's been infatuated with his half-sister. Everything is so messed up, and I'm at a loss for what to do. For too long, I've turned a blind eye while my husband and his best friend have demeaned me. I thought I could tolerate it, but the situation with Tom and Melissa is deeply concerning to me.